Hangs onto him as Mackenzie finishes him off. Wilson wearing the headband. Wood. Coyne has a run, slips it back to his halfback, who almost managed to wrong foot Gerard, and penalty for a trip against the hooker.
Wrong footed him all right, and Gerard decided to use it. He's got an injured player too, with Wood down injured from that attempted tackle by Gerard. Wood will get attention. Peter Coyne to look for touch. Using the drop punt. Safety first, not looking for too much territory. Finds touch, 10 metres inside the Devils' territory. This time Day takes it up, only strolls up once again. Norse not moving up from the tap penalty. Mackenzie was one tackler, Dart the other. Herring onto Stewart, he's on the burst. McCabe comes in, can't stop him offloading the ball to Wilson. Let's have a look. Herring from dummy half has to come around some fallen players. Finds Wood. Wood can't get past the tackle of Michael Booth. Herring, Wilson, Coyne. The little grubber kick through, hits the feet of Marsden, is it? Marsden breaking away. Going to be picked in by Bennett King. Back out to Cook. Cook still looking for his support. Bennett King running always, made sure he wrapped him up. Well done from Bennett King. He was really in trouble because he was outnumbered. And Wilson also making the tackle. A penalty is eventuated. It'll be interesting to see whether Ward puts him in the bin, and he does. Gives him 5 minutes in the bin for delaying tactics. Often called a professional foul. These days it might be better named as an amateur foul. Here's the good break.
Yes, it was Marsden taking off downfield, and King was after him. King gathering him in fairly well as he hit toward just over the halfway line. Then Cook had it, tried to step back and get King on the wrong foot. But finally, King was doing such a good work of shepherding him that he managed to effect the tackle as the help arrived. Now it's Duncan with North working a move on the blind side. Only a few metres short. Gerard. Again, the blind side, ducks and weaves, slips a tackle, and Duncan is over. Duncan reaches out over the line, and North's rewarded for that good work that they've put on in the past couple of moments.
Well, David Gerard used to play with West, and he was renowned for his dummy half work near the try line. Have a look at him again. Tried to go himself, can't make it, wasn't going to give up. They popped the ball up to Duncan. Duncan on the spot, no defence in front of him, and he gets across for a good try. And how quickly the game can change. It's swept from one end of the field to the other, and North this time make sure they capitalise on it. Poor defence from the Diehards. They were grabbing instead of driving. Day, the last man there, couldn't affect the tackle, and Duncan snuck across in the corner.
Guy Harvey with a very difficult attempt just inside the touchline. Has already missed one with a paw kick. Wind behind the kick. He's bringing it in, he's put it through. Great kick from Harvey, and that shows why he has chalked up an 82% success rate this season. It's taken 17 minutes of the match for the first points to be registered. North's leading 6-0.
How quickly the game can change, because Peter Coyne tried the little grubber kick inside North's quarter. The ball rebounded. It was picked up very well on the fly by the 5'8" Peter Marsden, and then North went on with it, with Wilson having to go to the sin bin for 5 minutes for delaying tactics.
Dart straight up the middle.
And the Diehards have still got 12 men, and they'll have to suffer that for another 3 or 4 minutes.
Marsden shooting for touch, but he saw the winger standing over there. Well, Coyne was back in the wing position, forced the kick infield. Wood, Herring, and wrapped up there is Jansen.
Jansen really didn't know what to do. He should have just moved the ball, but instead just took one pace and committed himself to the defence quite simply. Much better game, this one from McCabe. It's the most committed I've seen him this season. Apparently he has been in far better form than what he was when we saw him in a couple of the State League games.
Wood doubling around.
Oh, there's McCabe over the top again with a good heavy tackle, starting to use shoulder and body, and he even got a little question mark from the touch judge there, and saying he might have gone high. He's made 7 tackles already, McCabe.
I think the comment from the touch judge might have been about pushing the head of the tackled man into the ground. Coyne on the blind side again, hooking the ball back across away from Booth and driving McMahon deep into his in goal.
Warren, that point you make there about pushing the head of the player, I wish referees would clamp down on that one a lot more, because I think they've done a pretty good job of eliminating the head-high tackle. But so often these days you see the close-in work after the tackle's been affected. A guy will get up and push at a fellow's head. Now, it's just not necessary. If you're going to lean on him when you get up, lean on his shoulder.
As much as causing any interference to the player, it keeps him on the ground that little bit longer and not allowing him to get up. Sure. Using it wide now, and they'll spin it out to McMahon. Oh. He ducks under 2 or 3 tackles before Hone finally manages to knock him off balance.
Poor attempts by both front rowers, Stewart and Day.
Bagnall.
Oh, obstruction, I'd say.
Slipped the pass to Marsden, it's gone backwards. Bagnall coming around again. Gets it away. Jackson steps off the left and straight through the middle. Jackson getting downfield. Looks for support. Duncan managing to be up there. Where were the rest?
And North slow to support. 5th tackle low. Billy would want to get rid of it.
Marsden. Booth. McCabe. They're not certain where to go, but now Bagnall sets sail. And he sidesteps the fullback. Leesburg sliding away from him. Straight around. Make the kick even easier. Good try to North.
Well, it's no fluke that North's the top of the premiership table and undefeated. They're playing some good football to get there, because the Diehards have also played reasonably well to date, but their defence is letting them down now. We're seeing some good backup play from North. Jackson had put them in that good position. Bill Dart realising with the 5th tackle, it wasn't his job to do anything with it. Marsden took a couple of paces. Diehards very slow to move up there. They should have moved up far quicker. Good work from McCabe. Committed the defence of Manthey, and then Bagnall accelerates. Confidence in his own ability. Wrong-footed David Burke, and he scoots away to put it under the post for a fine try from the Devils. From head on, it'll look good. Have a look at Billy Dart. 5th tackle. He said, I don't want it. It's not my job to decide what we do on the 5th tackle. Marsden was a new player too. He wasn't too sure himself. Gave to the captain Booth, out to McCabe. He knew what to do. Commit the defence, and Bagnall in, the little dummy on the outside, showed enough for Burke to wrong foot him, and then sprints across to put it down under the post. You beauty.
Harvey right in front. Should have no trouble after the last kick. And straight between the posts, so the score moves along to North's leading 12-0.
Well,
I was going to say 2 quick tries to North's there.
It's often the way we're on that a side that really has to win, which is really the situation the Diehards find themselves in. They're under pressure, nothing quite going right for them. They had played some reasonable football in the early part of this match, didn't get really near the Devils line, and the Devils have shown that they're running with confidence. Look at this fellow, straight up the middle. Boy, what a great run from the front rower, and didn't throw a silly pass either. Let's see if they can roll on from it. Bagnall out to Duncan, to Cook. Good run there from Kelso, juggles it, bumps away from one. Some ineffective tackles from the Diehards. Tengdahl comes in just to sort of hang off him without driving again. Bagnall, first man off the ruck. He's got McKenzie supporting the little pass to McKenzie. He's gone straight through. He's got Gerard on his right hand side. Looked the wrong way. Bumps out of one. He's going to go all the way himself. McKenzie, short.
Double movement.
Double movement.
And there was some interference in the back play too when the initial break was made. Marsden was backing up in the middle and was pulled back.
Well, what a sensational run of play from the Devils.
Well, North are really on top of the moment. They're throwing the ball around. Here's Bagnall, gets it to McKenzie, and look at the swerve for a second rower. Completely beats him, looks inside. That was where McMahon got knocked over. He swivels away, goes for the line, and I think we'll see it is a double movement, just short. Then the extra movement. I don't think you could say it was momentum.
No, definitely a double movement, but you couldn't blame the young fellow. He'd done so much to get there. He thought, well, I've come this far. Let's see if Eddie Ward's on the ball. He was, and double movement was the correct ruling. Just as well for the Diehards, because they were in heaps of bother.
Very hard to turn the temptation down to reach out over the line. On Wednesday night last week at the Panasonic Cup final, we saw Wayne Pearce showing his experience not go for the extra 6 inches for a try, but 99% of players do.
Yeah, well, McKenzie had done a lot of good work there to get that far, and I guess he just couldn't help himself.
Here's Coyne with a little chip through for Burke, and Coyne regathers. Coyne sets off for the line. He's chased by several players, but no one's got a chance. Coyne far too much pace underneath the post. After the kick was dropped, the little chip through was dropped and came up for him.
Well, that's just the sort of turn of luck the Diehards needed. As I said, they haven't necessarily been playing that bad in attack. The defence has been very, very ordinary. They needed something a little bit different. Good kick, this one from Coyne. Under pressure, Bagnall just knocked over as he was gathering the ball. Coyne got it on the rebound. Just had enough pace. Not the fastest player on the field, but he certainly had the break on the opposition. He scoots away, nearly ran over the dead ball line. He was that surprised that he got that far so easily.
Now here's Craig Marshall attempting the kick, and he has the perfect record to date. 9 from 9 this season in the Winfield Cup.
Should make it 10 from 10 right in front.
And the flags are up, so the score now 12 points to 6 in favour of North still, but a good hit back there from the Diehards. Harvey restarts. Mark Wilson back on from his short stint as he juggles the ball backwards. Short stint in the sin bin from that professional foul a while back.
The juggle might have meant that he was a bit cold, not warm to the pace of the game, which has been quite pacey so far.
Plenty of entertainment here in this match. And some solid defence comes in from McKenzie.
Some good tackling, some good hitting in the defence, but certainly that defensive line not moving up anywhere near quickly enough, and that's allowing players room to move.
Hone was the one coming up with it. Now it's from Wood. Out to Jansen. Looked back inside, but couldn't get the pass away.
Now they need some closer runners. Both sides need runners close to the ball carrier.
This is one of the fastest pace games we've seen at Lang Park all season.
Yeah, a lot better effort from both sides, but I think the defence is letting both down. Any side that tightens up their defence, in terms of their defensive pattern, there's been nothing wrong with the tackling once they get their hands on players, but they're giving them a little bit too much latitude.
Coyne holding up the pass. Slips it back now to Marshall.
Oh, obstruction, yes, definitely right. Tengdale obstructed Cook. Cook tried to make the tackle. It'll be good to see again. Let's have a look at it. As Coyne, who again had heaps of time to walk up to the defence, found Bennett King then. Now have a look at this. Cook's the man on the furthest on the picture, and then around goes Marshall, around Tengdale, and Cook there he couldn't even see Marshall, let alone lay a hand on him, and a penalty has gone to the Devils.
Darryl Duncan looking for touch. Having given Eddie Ward a bag for taking his eye off the play a moment ago, I suppose he deserves some credit for getting these two sides back there 5 metres.
He's keeping things nice and open. Actually, I think he could have been the Queensland referee for mine for the State of Origin. I don't think Gomesel's been in good form this season. In actual fact, in a couple of previous State of Origin games, I reckon his performances have been very ordinary. Of course, all eyes will be on him this Tuesday night when Queensland take on New South Wales. Once again.
Duncan taking it up, 10 metres short.
No one moving up in defence.
Marsden, little move work, back to McCabe. On the pass goes to Jackson. He's only 5 metres short.
Two players down for the Diehards.
McCabe struggling for the line, wrestling out of tackles. Last tackle, 2 metres out.
A score out here.
Duncan has plenty of numbers, tries to go himself. He stretches out and made it.
Well, what a good individual try for Darryl Duncan. They were always thin on numbers out here, the Diehards. Darryl Duncan looks to be injured from that passage of play. Looks like he's hurt his shin, but it showed a good determined effort by the Norse captain to get across. Have a look at it from the side on first. The pass out to Duncan. The Diehards were thin here. The dummy had plenty of support, and Duncan showed very good strength to hold himself up in midair for that last metre and a half and make sure that he didn't do what McKenzie did, and that was get caught short. Have a look at this. The strength of the guy and the determination. Don't go down yet. Go down over there. And he did that. He did it well. A good try from the Devils.
Guy Harvey, this is a difficult attempt. Only 8 metres in from touch. Breeze has dropped, but it is blowing from behind him a little, and it slides across the post. Does it come back? It bounces through. Well, a great kick again from Harvey, and that gives him 3 from 4. The score, Diehards on 6, North 12 points ahead.
Well, the kick-off taken by Marshall. Booth comes in underneath it, looks for his support and finds Kelso coming in. No, it was Guy Harvey bringing the ball outside the 22-metre line. McKenzie, what a willing worker. This fellow is a good step too, but he couldn't beat Herring. Bagnall's got Dart bounding onto the ball. Gee, he's a good, strong, powerful runner, this fellow. Tried to get his hands free, but decided the pass was too risky. The dummy on one side finds McCabe down the middle. The Norse forward pack really working well. Found Jackson linking up on the outside. They've really made some good territory there to get inside the Diehards territory. Bagnall out to McKenzie again. He is a willing worker, but he's hitting a very good tackle that time from Mark Hone. We've got McMahon at dummy half. Bagnall looks out on the outside, tries a little dummy. There's the story of the game. Missed tackles. The Diehards 18. That's far too many. Norse 8.
Turnover has taken it away from the ruck is Day.
Well, it's interesting that Norths did get caught there for a turnover. I'm pretty sure that they've scored 2 of their tries on their 6th tackle, so they've been prepared to run the ball on the last tackle. That time it didn't work for them.
Wilson crossing the halfway. There's the penalties. Diehards 7, North 3.
Well,
Wood is wrapped up in a good tackle there.
Just proves there that those little runarounds are useless if done in front of the line. They've got to be done right on the defensive line to commit a defender. Otherwise, they're just wasting their time. The defenders just hold off and hit the man with the ball.
Last tackle as Hone gets to his feet. Coyne again looking back to the blind side, puts it up high, the cross kick, but Manthe coming through from the far side, but in the middle of the field, Booth has spilled it.
And knocked it on. Well, it looks like the Diehards once again having to resort to the high ball. They aren't really attacking well. We haven't seen any semblance of a backline movement between Manthe and Marshall. The knock-on was by North, so loose head and feed to the Diehards. Scrums at the moment, North's 4, Diehards 1.
This is a vital ball, penalty to Diehards. Collapsing the scrum.
Well, there's only seconds remaining in the first half, 40 seconds to be exact. The Diehards must put points on here to get back into this game.
And with such short time to go, Coyne decides to go for touch.
That's inexcusable. They've just wasted a quarter of the time available.
Herring, only a few metres out. Working towards a move. Wood, past to Hone. Pulled up 10 metres short. They look a little disorganised. Not quite sure how to go about it at the moment. Coyne has knocked it on. Gathered by the centre Kelso. And that goes a vital chance for the Diehards just before half-time. So as the siren sounds, North's leading quite convincingly at the moment by 18 points to 6. Well, it's 3 tries to 1 at the moment for North's. Tries to Duncan and Bagnall, 2 tries in fact to Darryl Duncan, and for the Diehards 1 to Peter Coyne. The goal kicking, Harvey has kicked 3 from 4. Marshall has kicked his only attempt at goal. The scrums have gone to North's 4-1 and the penalties to the Diehards 8-3, so they certainly have had the advantage in the penalties. And David, we're seeing some free running and plenty of ball movement from both sides, but the Diehards are leaving too many holes.
Well, they are, Warren. It's certainly up in the middle of the ruck where they're not moving up, and I think that's the key, because we've seen some good tackles in terms of body contact, but really they're allowing North too much latitude before they make that defensive line. I'd say McQuitter would be concentrating on that at half-time to get his side moving up. There's one fellow that's not doing a lot of tackling. It's just as well he scored a couple of tries. That's Darryl Duncan. He scored 2 tries and made 4 tackles. So he's not in there for his defence.
Well, we may see whether or not he comes back out in the second half, because that ankle didn't look too good. There's the whistle for the second half. And North's captain Darryl Duncan did hobble back onto the field. We'll see if he makes it right through to stumps in this game. Running it up strongly. The Diehards bringing it forward.
Wouldn't be surprised if Greg Oliphant's asked him for a little bit of extra effort. As he is the captain, he wants him to lead by example. He feels he needs his leadership out there. Very experienced player is Darryl Duncan. Has played some football in Sydney and also quite a bit in the country, so he's an integral part of the side.
Coyne under pressure from Dart.
I don't think I'd like to be put under too much pressure from the big fella. He is a big lad and he knows how to use it.
McMahon pulled down 2 metres short of the halfway line. Greg Oliphant having a word with the bench, about to make a replacement, it looks like.
Wouldn't be surprised if it is Duncan, because he certainly is not anything like 100%. There's McKenzie again, taking the ball up strongly to the defensive line.
McCabe comes to the wide blind side, trying to thread his way through, slips a pass to Cook. Cook goes back, but straight into Hone. Just short of the quarter line. Bagnall, Marsden. Straight and hard is Dart. Useful to have someone straightening up the attack like that. Last tackle. Booth with a drop goal attempt. It's very close and it's straight through. So adding a point. Now North's lead by 19 points to 6 and put the Diehards back on their heels early in the second half.
Well, significantly greater than 2 converted tries now for the Diehards to get in front.
Marshall restarts. Good solid kick from Booth there. Had plenty of time but made no mistake.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the tactics sorted out at half-time. Those things don't happen by coincidence, so I'd say Greg Oliphant should take plenty of credit for that, along with the kicker in Michael Booth, because they've now got themselves greater than 2 tries ahead.
Here's Dart again, a willing worker. Found plenty of holes in the first half. Bagnall from dummy half. meets Stewart. Rides him into the ground. Booth. Well, a poor kick almost takes the head off the touch judge.
There has been some wayward tactical kicking in this game. The replacement for North's Steve Herman has come on for Darryl Duncan. Herman wearing 15. There's a little pigeon on the field there. It's been, looks like it's got a right wing injury. This little ball boy treating it with kid gloves. Obviously didn't want to injure it any further.
We'll have to wear shoulder pads in next week's game.
The crowd sighing as one of the cameramen over there take a close-up photo of the injured pigeon.
Scrum screwing around. Norths appear to be twisting it deliberately. Coyne flings it out to Marshall.
That's where the Diehards have really fallen down, I think, in the first half. They haven't moved the ball out wide. And I'll go further than just say the first half. I think every time I've seen them play this year, they really haven't used a back line that has got genuine pace out wide. Bennett King, a Queensland representative player, seldom sees the ball.
Hone getting a pass away to Wood, took a chance and made the mark.
They've got a back line on the left here. Let's see what they can do with it.
Jansen.
They get a forward in it. Well, that about sums it up.
Wood. Coyne slips a little one back inside to Stewart. Last tackle, 20 metres out.
Bennett King has come looking for work. He's on this right-hand side.
Wood stabs it through, but they've got it well covered as Harvey gathers, but he's in the in goal. Can he make it back into the field of play? No, too much defence. Good work from the chasers there.
But not good from Harvey. I don't think he showed enough urgency there to get back into the field of play. He picked up the ball and then seemed to go for a little walk out the back for a while before deciding to straighten things up and try and get to the into the field of play. Side now under pressure, and it's just the sort of pressure the Diehards are going to need to keep up if they're going to get back into this match. They're trailing 19-6, only 5 minutes into the second half. Booth puts a good kick from under the goalpost, picked up by Tingdale just inside the Devils' territory, and McCabe quickly there to make the tackle. Good running from the big fellow. Wilson out to Wood. The long pass to Coyne, little step, straightens up nicely, fires the ball up. Couldn't be held there from David Burke. Burke was into a bit of a gap. Kelso picked it up on the rebound, and North's off the hook.
David Burke has looked dangerous a number of times today, just not getting the support from the rest of the team.
He's a talented player, Burke. He came across from the Magpies this season. Once again, big Bill Dart coming up the middle of the field, making good ground every time and making sure that it takes more than one defender to look after him. Out of dummy half is Gerard, had a heap of time, finds 5'8" in Marsden. Booth at dummy half. Bagnall. No, not Bagnall. Pass Bagnall to McCabe. McMahon out to Cook. Cook tries to stand up the defence. Herring comes in over the top. Mark Hone at the bottom. That's the fifth tackle. This one back to Bagnall. Wasn't really expecting it. Not a well-organised passage of play from the Devils. That one dropped there by Jansen, but still recovered. It was a knockback.
Surprising bit of football there, because everybody was onside, but no one really chased through the kick, and the die-hard defenders were allowed all day long to try and take the bomb.
There's Bennett King. You can see how cold he's getting out on the wing. He takes one run and then stands up and plays it forward, looking for work, and the Diehards have got to give it to him, not in the middle of the ruck, out there on the wing.
There's Stewart out wide, sends it on to Marshall, and he's left it behind Manthe on the wing. Manthe was on the fly, but the pass was low and behind him.
How often do you see it happen when the first time it's moved to the left-hand flank, Kings come in field?
Here's Coyne with the kick for touch, and a good kick too, taking play down towards the 22-metre line.
Better kicking there from Peter Coyne. He didn't kick particularly well in the first half, although from one of his little chip kicks, a try that he actually ultimately scored himself, resulted.
And on a touch judge report, it's Ray Herring being called out for a word. Something happening in the play.
There's Peter McWhirter down talking to Brian Canavan, his trainer, giving instructions, and I'd say they'd be urgent ones. They desperately need points to lift their confidence.
Well, there's 33 minutes left in the match, and really the Diehards are in a lot of trouble here now. 13 points behind, as David said, 2 converted tries and a point needed. And if they don't win this match, well, they're going to be struggling to make the semi-finals. Doesn't put them out of contention, but it certainly makes it a very, very difficult road.
Well, especially after they promised so much with early season signings, they really haven't lived up to it.
McCabe lurking wide. Slips a good pass away to Cook. Cook trying to step away from Herring. It's the last tackle, just short of the halfway line. And Booth just taps it in a touch to give his hooker the advantage in the scrum.
As the North's captain is making sure he finds touch. Bagnall, here we are. This is an interesting little contest between the halfbacks. Bagnall trying a bluff there. He wanted the feed, but of course Wood wouldn't give it to him. It wasn't inside the fourth tackle. The Diehards put it in, take it out. Bagnall around too quickly. It's almost impossible if you're marking up front to get around and dive on the ball. Let's have a look at it. Bagnall up. There wasn't anyone at home initially. That's what encouraged Bagnall to have a go for it. And then with Stewart trying to pick it up at the same time, no doubt a penalty had to result. Let's see what the Diehards can do with it. One of the few times they've been inside the Devils' territory. Day takes it perilously close to the line, 3 metres out. Slow play the ball. They could have done with a quick one there. The ball out to Wood. A bad pass. Woods knocked it on. Couldn't really be blamed for knocking it on. Shocking pass out of dummy half, I think, by Wilson. And once again, the Diehards released the screws.
Opportunity lost. Bagnall almost came up with it, but from the scrum feed, penalty for putting it into the second row.
Well, they will get a second chance now, but I don't know whether they deserve it. Their attack has not been good. It hasn't been organised. Once again, we see the Diehards putting the ball into touch. Why it isn't any good to take a tap from there in midfield, 5 metres out from the try line, is beyond me.
Tap taken. Sends it out to Herring. Wood.
What they want is some straight running. Forget the cross-field stuff.
Herring spins around, goes back to the blind side. Still going, Herring.
It's more like it.
They'll be working for a move here in the centre of the field, near the posts. Herring sends it out to Wood. Scampers across field, but can't get away from the defence, moving up quickly.
Standing too flat was David Wood, and slow play the balls again. Diehards have been plagued by those all day.
Wilson has his ankle tapped. Hone gets it to Marshall.
Forward pass.
And it must have been offside as well.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there as Hone turned around, and Eddie Ward demonstrating that he should take up second row play with the with that sort of passing action. Let's have a look at it. Hone turns around. I don't think it was forward for mine. Marshall looked to me to be receiving the ball from an onside position. Eddie Ward thinking otherwise, and a penalty has gone to the Devils. Certainly a relieving one, but we saw there the inability of the Diehards to really capitalise on good field position. They aren't a side that's really hungry for scoring points, and of course that's what wins games.
They don't seem to have the penetration at the moment as McMahon runs it up off the tap. Midway between the quarter and halfway. McKenzie. Out it goes now to Jackson, steaming forward.
Always puts in 100% effort, does Kieran Jackson from the Panthers, and certainly very handy player to have in any side with the amount of defence he does.
McCabe takes play to the halfway. Runs like a running back from NFL football, McCabe. Always looking for the opportunity. Now it's Cook holding up the pass, goes himself. He had Booth coming up on the outside, threw him the short dummy. Now Booth manages to pull it in well. It was an awkward pass and gets the kick away, and it's bouncing awkwardly for King. Hasn't got the pace to escape the clutches of Dart down there with McKenzie. Wood, Wilson. Wilson, little dummy and acceleration, but well tackled by Marsden.
And hanging on.
Marsden didn't release his ankles. Coyne quickly takes the kick for touch, drives play into North's half, midway between their quarter and halfway.
The Diehards want to show a bit of urgency too about their play. Here comes Steve Day to take this one. Lopes up onto the ball once again. Easy territory to be made from that tap penalty. Eddie Ward making sure he's got the Devils back on side. The same set piece again with Hone coming across to the open side. Found support this time in Jansen. He's up to play the ball. Dummy the blind, back to the open again. Stewart charging on the ball. Well wrapped up though in good defence. Over the top was McCabe. Underneath the tackling machine, Jackson. Flat play on the blind side, finds Wilson after a little wrap around. Once again, Jackson in there to cut his legs from under him. Burke in at dummy half. Coyne resorting to the kick again. That's what they've had to do all day. Harvey takes it on the full in his in-goal area and played a restart with a 22-metre tap.
Good pressures from Gerard there on the kicker, forcing him to get the kick away quickly and putting it too deep on the full into the in-goal area. Now Bagnall bringing play up slowly. North's getting themselves organised.
Yeah, taking a breather, and well they might.
Gerard thumps into his opposite number, Herring. Now Mackenzie takes them on again. Still running strongly.
Like the look of this young guy. He's certainly got an aggressive running style, a vigorous running style, and he's got the capabilities of getting his hands free.
Steve Herman getting to his feet just short of the halfway. Bagnall switches it across the ruck to Dart. He hasn't stopped. Bagnall, Marsden, he's been busy as well. Swooped on there by Hone. They can't get over the halfway line.
Bill Dart reminds, this is the 5th tackle. Come back to Bill Dart in a moment.
Booth with a little chip over the top. Wilson in position to judge it well as Booth makes the tackle on him.
Bill Dart reminds me a bit of big Campbell Dews, big Zulu, who played for Norse here for a number of seasons and actually played, I think, in their 1980 grand final side, did big Zulu. And that could be a good omen for the Devils because they're in good form at the moment, undefeated at the top of the premiership table.
Marshall swooped on by Mackenzie. Takes play over the halfway. Play bobbing backwards and forwards around the middle of the field at the moment. King injects himself. Slips it. It's gone backwards to Wood. He's taken by Kelso. Coyne sizing it up with the kick. Driving play deep, but it's out on the full. Well, he was looking for the right position, getting it right in behind Harvey, but misjudging it just too strong.
The Diehards have made a replacement. Jansen's left the field, and Brendan Summerfield, wearing 15, has come on for the Diehards.
North's ball from the scrum. Harvey, met by Day and Herring. Now it's going forward is Jackson. Little switch again across the ruck. Marsden linking up with McCabe. Out to Cook. No room to move. Plenty of defence across. Bagnall. Herman. Last tackle. Defence equal to the task at the moment, but Gerard sights a little opening from dummy half. Flings it out to Jackson, onto McCabe. McCabe trying to draw play infield. Cook sends a kick back infield. Good kick too. Chasing back as Tengdale. He gathers it, or knocks it dead at least. Saves the situation for the Diehards, but good football from North, making the most of a limited amount of room to move in.
Yeah, excellent play from North. We saw once again David Gerard darting out of dummy half. He's done it so well today. And it was the 5th tackle. North's prepared to run the ball on the 5th tackle. Here it is again. Good work from Gerard. Fired the pass out because he had to. He couldn't afford to be tackled on the 5th. Watch McCabe continually uses the short side very, very well. Not afraid to pop that little pass, even when there's not a lot of room to move. Gee, that's a good kick from Cook. Tengdale, had he taken that ball, he would have come back for a 22-metre tap. He didn't. He was forced to knock it dead. North's back on the attack.
Bagnall has it. Now it's McCabe.
He's had a top game. I think the last time I saw Paul McCabe play was when he had a disaster of a state league match here, a night game. You wouldn't recognise him as the same player. And the difference is he's hitting the defensive line. He's not just passing while well before the defensive line.
Well, McCabe cut Winner Manley to pieces up 2 weeks ago before the bye. Yeah. This is the last tackle. Booth putting it up. It's going deep. It should be coming down in the end goal. Ball right on the goal line. Burke flies for it. The ball's loose in the end goal.
Knock on.
Knock on called. And it'll go back to the 22-metre for the tap.
Yeah, knock on by North's, the attacking side, knocking on in the end goal area. Good kick this one. Up it goes from Booth. Good follow through as he really put plenty of height to it. That makes sure his runners have got plenty of time to get to the ball. Good kick this one. Came down, just touched there by Marsden, I think it was. And of course, in knocking the ball forward from that point on, North could not possibly score a try.
Mackenzie. Now it's Gordon Reid. On the field for Dart. McCabe. Again, finding the hole in the middle of the ruck, flicked the pass back. Bit of a speculator. Last tackle. Back it goes to Bagnall, who fires it straight to Wilson. Wilson, the dummy, finds the opening. Steps around Bagnall, slips a pass to Wood. Wood, on it goes to Burke. Burke tackled well by Harvey. Pulled down, will struggle to his feet. Chance for the Diehards. Oh, Reed has knocked over Tengdale.
Well, if Eddie Ward's consistent here, he should have put the guy in the sin bin for 5 minutes because he did it to Wilson in the first half. They'll score if they move it on the left.
Tengdale has another go.
North's very thin on the left-hand side.
Slow play the ball. Poor pass. Wilson has it. It upset the movement. First pass has got to be a good one in that situation. Wood, Daunt. House has his ankles cut out from under him by Kelso. Wood has it again. King throws a dummy. Last tackle. King still going. Thrown to the ground.
They move it here on the right, they could even score. North's thin out here now.
Hone has a go himself. He rolls over the line, but he's got it down. He has got it down.